remarks, may we call on the Secretary of the Department of Social Welfare and Development, Secretary Judy Tagiwalo.
Mr. President, my fellow cabinet officials, honorable legislators, my DSWD family, the Council for the Welfare of Children, officials and staff, our beloved centenarians and their families, local government unit officials, awardees, finalists, Malacanang officials and staff, guests, magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. Today, we will witness two uniquely significant back-to-back events that showcase our continuing endeavors to bring services to our people and give recognition to those who are at the forefront in the delivery of these services. The uniqueness of our gathering is in the fact that while we continue to harness our efforts at providing a better future to our children, we share in the felicity of long life that our centenarians are blessed with. Fittingly, in these hallowed halls, we are face to face, not with the past, but with the living testament of our past and the guardians of our future. Inspired by our centenarians' presence here this afternoon, we cannot but hope that many of us and many of our children live to be 100 in a country that nurtures and protects both the young and the elderly, especially those who are most needy among them. With the Presidential Award for Child-Friendly Municipalities and Cities, or the PAC-FMC, we give due recognition to those who selflessly and tirelessly work towards the advancement of children's rights. Their individual and collective contributions, big or small, form part of the achievements that PAC-FMC recognizes. Without them, our country will not be a better place for our children. I warmly congratulate and salute the awardees and the finalists of the PAC-FMC. May your valuable efforts to provide our children with quality and effective programs and services be sustained and replicated, not just for our children's welfare, but also for other marginalized and vulnerable groups and families that need our support and service. We already witnessed the signing of the implementing rules and regulations of the Republic Act 1086-8, or the Centenarians Act of 2016. The signing of the IRR is seen as crucial in the implementation of the law, in particular in the rollout of letter of felicitation from the President and in the release of cash gifts or incentives, and the observance of National Respect for Centenarians Day every first Sunday of October. I am glad that we have the signing of the IRR before our first observance of National Respect for Centenarians this coming month. For this, I extend my gratitude to all those who contributed to the crafting of the IRR. The Centenarians Act that the IRR seeks to implement is symbolic of our respect and recognition for the oldest members of our society. It is also our government's official recognition of their valuable and long contribution in shaping and in keeping our honored values and traditions, and in the shaping of our society in general. In closing, not only do these events remind us of two most important stages and milestones in human life, childhood and aging, they also remind us of the enormity of the tasks that these milestones entail. But lest we forget, our celebration here today is a clear proof that our collective efforts can produce many more milestones to celebrate. Respect the centenarians, save the children, serve our people. Magandang hapon po sa ating lahat.
Thank you very much po, Secretary Judy.
And now we shall proceed with the presidential awards for the most child-friendly municipalities and cities. May we respectfully invite our dear President Rodrigo Roa Duterte to lead the awarding.
Joining the President are DSWD Secretary Judy Tagiwalo, DILG Secretary Ismael Sueno, DOH Secretary Pauline Jean Rosel Ubial, and CWC Executive Director Patricia B. Luna.
Para sa unang kategorya, ang 4th to 6th class municipality tatanggap ng parangal ang Dumalneg, Ilocos Norte. Pakan po natin. Tinatawagan po namin si Mayor Lairvi Garvida Espiritu upang tanggapin ang parangal.
Congratulations.
The municipality of Dumalneg takes pride on its Tawid or Transfer of Culture initiative that focuses on sustaining the continuity of tribal customs and traditions, particularly the Isneg ethnic group.
Maraming salamat po sa bumubuo ng munisipalidad ng Dumalneg, Ilocos Norte at congratulations po. Para po sa kategorya ng 1st to 3rd class municipality, ang tatanggap ng parangalayang Buena Vista, Guimaras.
Congratulations! Tinatawagan po namin si Mayor Eugenio Reyes upang tanggapin ang parangal. The municipality of Buena Vista takes pride on its functional and operational Municipal Council for the Protection of Children with a rating of 95.5% in 2014. The MCPC greatly helped institutionalize children's participation within the different structures in the municipality.
Maraming salamat at maligayang pagbati sa mga bumubuo ng Municipal Government of Buena Vista. At ngayon naman, ang Presidential Awardee para sa kategoryang Component City ay ang City of Ilagan.
Congratulations! Tatanggap ng award ay si Mayor Evelyn C. Diaz of the City of Ilagan.
Numerous
Congratulations!
initiatives and projects have been implemented by the City of Ilagan to ensure the child participation, safeguard children's rights and development. Some of these projects are assist in nourishing a kid or anak that mainstream supplemental feeding program to combat malnutrition in children. Maraming salamat po, Mayor Diaz ng City Government of Ilagan at maligayang pagbati po sa inyo. Ngayon naman po, para sa Independent Component City category, ang nagwagi ay ang City of Santiago.
Yes! Sa Santiago City, Mayor Joseph Tan ang tatanggap ng parangal.
Genuine partnerships and participatory processes and collaboration among stakeholders are the strengths of Santiago City in mainstreaming initiative for children. This is the third time for the City of Santiago to be hailed as the most child-friendly city independent city category.
Congratulations po sa lahat ng bumubuo ng City Government of Santiago. Congratulations!
Go.
Ang nagkamit ng pinakamataas na rating para sa highly urbanized city ay ang Davao City.
Si Attorney Lawrence D. Bantiding, Assistant City Administrator for Operations ng Davao City, ang tatanggap ng parangal bilang kinatawa ni Mayor Sara Duterte.
Congratulations.
Congratulations
Davao
and
City
thank
has
you
been
very
a
much.
consistent contender for the Presidential Award for the most child-friendly municipalities and cities. Children's rights are incorporated in decision-making processes and other governance approaches, particularly in policy and planning formulation, institutional frameworks, resource allocation, and utilization and service delivery. Isang mainit na pagbati po para sa Davao City. Maligayang pagbati po sa lahat ng mga presidential awardees, ang Davao City, City of Santiago, City of Ilagan, Municipality of Buena Vista at Municipality of Dumalneg. Congratulations. And at this point, to deliver a message on behalf of the local chief executives, may we call on Dumalneg, Ilocos Norte Mayor Laervi Garvida Espiritu.
Our beloved Mayor President Rodrigo Duterte, the Secretary Judy Tagiwalo, Secretary Ismael D. Sueno, Executive Director Patricia B. Luna, Secretary Pauline Obial, distinguished guests, mga centenarians na narito ngayon, sa ating pong lahat, magandang hapon. The victories of today are the pains and toils of yesterday. Our little town has been frequently visited by unscrupulous people who pressed our forefathers and robbed them of their rights and privileges. Only a few came to appreciate their identity and offered help. Our ancestors were often called nakabaag or wearing G-strings. Yapayaw, their dialect, unschooled, pagan due to their being an indigenous people, the Isneg tribe. The dilemma of discrimination steered many to express their sentiments through revolution for more than a decade, and a few went to school against these odds. The devolution gave the local government unit of Dumalneg the initial freedom of governing themselves. The battle cry was education for all, so that the people will understand the rights, privileges, and responsibilities as Dumalnegians and as a Filipino. They need to be empowered through literacy to understand the vision to make Dumalneg rise from oppression, poverty, and discrimination. The ultimate aim of winning back the people from insurgency to the fold of law was realized through the National Reconciliation Program. The social reform agenda was instrumental in alleviating poverty, promoting peace, and empowering the people. The Agrarian Reform Program benefited landless families to till their own lands and produce for their own family. A secondary school was established, and educational assistance for college education was given to ensure that children will be equipped for their future vocation. Because change does not happen in a twinkle of an eye, laborious efforts, tons of patience, understanding, and sacrifices were exhausted with a mission to make the children rise. After more than a decade, childhood learners became the pillars in the community. One became a city superintendent, many became teachers, municipal councilors, policemen and women, a physician, municipal engineer, accountant, social worker, business owners, priests and ministers. These are the people who are a testimony of our shibboleth, nurture the children to become pillars of tomorrow. In our own dialect, na anak tagiban, taagida pagrangayan, iling ay ayaten. This recognition, the Presidential Award for the Seal of Child-Friendly Local Government, will be engraved in the heart of the Malnegenians, a memorial for our forefathers and inspiration to the present generation, a footprint for the future generation to continue the legacy of servitude and empowerment towards excellence. Above all, I give the glory to God. Thank you. Thank you to all of you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mayor Garvida Espiritu. At ngayon naman po ay pakinggan natin ang mensahe ng Sectoral Representative of the National Anti-Poverty Commission, Children Basic Sector, si Kuya Josh Cesar Cerrillo.
To all the people gathered here in this prestigious event, to all the local chief executives, representative of NGAs and NGOs, and Mr. President, maayong hapon sa inyong tanan. Magandang hapon and a pleasant afternoon. We, the National Anti-Poverty Commission Children Basic Sector, would like to congratulate the recipients of the Presidential Award for Child-Friendly Municipalities and Cities for supporting and complementing the efforts to create a child-friendly Philippines. The Philippines, being a signatory to the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child, must strengthen the implementation of the laws and policies that caters to the needs of children and ensure that their four fundamental rights to survival, development, protection, and participation are fully exercised. Being the voice of the Children Basic Sector is working side by side with national government agencies, non-government organizations, and local government units to help address issues and concerns of the children. This is contributory to achieving a child-friendly Philippines. With the recent string of incidents involving children and the use of them by syndicates and or other armed groups in committing illegal, criminal, and terror activities, we, the children, reiterate our call to all LGUs, NGAs, NGOs, and their constituents to save the children who are being used by these monsters in carrying out this heinous agenda to disrupt the peaceful lives of the citizens of our beloved nation. In cases where children are branded as children in conflict with the law, what they need is intervention, guidance, care, and protection. In order to make the country stable and progressive, we, the children, ask for you, the adults, to be good role models for us if we want a brighter future for our country. We ask for you to make sure that the voices of children are never left out, because we also believe that the children are the future of our country. Again, congratulations, and thank you for ensuring a child-friendly community for us children. Thank you.
Maraming salamat po.
Okay, thank you po. Maraming salamat, Kuya Josh.
At this juncture, we shall proceed with the presentation of the signed implementing rules and regulations of the Republic Act 10868, also known as the Centenarians Act of 2016. As of September 2016, there are 3,000 centenarians in the country, and we are privileged to have the oldest centenarian present here today, Ms. Lourdes Marquez.
Centenarians Act of 2016 is a platform to celebrate the longevity of our elderly and to honor their important contribution to nation building and imparting values to new generations. It is a testimony of the Filipino culture that respects all persons regardless of their age.
May we request our beloved Secretary Tagiwalo, together with our secretaries on stage, to present the IRR to our dear President. A letter of felicitation signed by the President of the Philippines and a centenarian gift through a cash award of 100,000 pesos shall be given to the living centenarian, while a posthumous plaque of recognition shall be awarded to the deceased centenarian to be received by his or her nearest surviving relative.
In addition to the awards provided the national government, a city or municipality where a centenarian resides may give a plaque of recognition and a cash incentive to the living centenarians.
And now, may we please request Secretary Judith Tagiwalo to introduce our very distinguished speaker. Thank you very much. Thank you very much and congratulations.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, may I introduce to you the President of the Republic of the Philippines, Rodrigo Roa Duterte, who calls himself Mayor Digong.
Thank you. Please sit down. Salamat po. I'd like to start with the members of Congress who are here. Senators Angara, Bina Recto, Lagman Espina, Lagman and Teodoro, and cabinet members, my co-workers in government, the awardees, my beloved countrymen. I was looking for a topic that would suit the crowd of the young and the old. Wala akong makita na that would be interesting to hear except our experience in Davao. Sa Davao ho, kasi consistent naman kami ever since. But for the many times, dozen or so many times that we won, I never really appeared here simply because as a matter of official and personal policy, I do not accept awards. Because as I have said many, many years ago, I'm here to serve the people and I am paid and I do not need awards. But of course, the civility in our midst and government requires that we give recognition to the people who have invested sweat, toil, and everything for the love of humanity. And so I'm happy to be here addressing you. So you might not want to maybe enjoy my talk because it would center on the issues surrounding my administration. Pero sa una-una ho, ang Davao medyo maswerte. We have the Home for the Aged. It's a big one. It's really big. And we gather all those who are in the streets. Kaya lang yung iba, gusto talaga nila doon sa labas. But we have a special unit that would gather them every day, every night, and bring them to the house of the aged. And pati yung mga taga-gobyerno nandun. It's a big place, and if you happen to pass by Davao, kindly let us know, and we would show you how we dealt with the problem. A few steps up, there's a huge mansion there. And it was built with the original house. I mean, the institution was my idea because there were a lot of, ito yung incest, the victims of incest. nagkaroon ng anak na tatay, tiyo, kapatid. I gathered them in one place and called it Balay Dagumbad. The Visayan Dangupan is refuge, the house of refuge. And if you also want to take at it as a model, I built them a 33 million house. It's a big one. It's almost a big house, and they are there, and we pay for their education. And they also tend to their children in their spare time, if they're not in school, may nursery doon. But mayroon kaming mga midwives. For the addicts, I have built another 34 million. Kasi nga sinasabi nila na pinapatay ko yung mga addicts. Well, maybe that is a thing I would not enjoy to hear. Pero sabihin mo yung bata na pinatay ko, pati babae, it's impossible. Even if I wanted to, I cannot pull a trigger at a child. Yung lalaki lang. Kasi gusto naman nila eh. Ganito yan eh. This thing about, I would not say they're all lies, but neither all true. But this started as a political issue. You know, I was up against an operator, my political enemy. Magkalaban talaga kami, but ayaw ko nang hayabain ng istorya because he shook my hand and sabi niya, ariglo na lang. So, laki pag nagkamayan tayo, then we forget everything. Ako naman, pagpatay ka na o nagipag-ariglo ka sa akin, okay na ako. I'm good. Hindi ako yung... But ganito ang Davao. Ang Davao kasi was also a very topsy-turvy place. In the days of martial law, yung lahat ng gustong anti-communist was given a firearm left and right. And there was even a lathe machine inside the headquarters mismo ng police, and they were manufacturing politics. And they were giving it to everyone who would, every Tom, Dick, and Harry would say, anti-komunista ako. So, time passed by and Cory won. And a lot of yung select were ordered release. Wala akong problema doon. Ano ka problema ko? Yung mga alsamasa na walang authority to keep the guns, even the bare documents, wala. But they were armed and they were marauding Davao. And kayong mga taga Davao, alam ninyo to, the story about a rich guy, pumasok itong mga to, mga baongang ng Davao, who used to be CHDF. And they stayed in the house and knew very well that you cannot withdraw money from the bank more than 50,000 a day. So they were asking for more, so they stayed in the house. And in the meantime, day to day, they raped the wife, the children, and the maids. So doon nag-umpisa ang rage ko. I was only a vice mayor. But sinabi ko na this cannot happen. And by that time, pumasok na ang, used to be marijuana lang. Pumasok ang meth, Cebu. And they were committing, because it was easy, and the market was ready. At nagkaroon ako ng problema because I became mayor of Davao City for 23 years. So may problema talaga ako. And yung parami na ang parami, I started with just being a soft landing. But nung parami na, napuno na yung rehab ko, sabi ko, delikado na to. So I made just a survey of my own city. And at that time, it was already deadly serious. Because, it starts with pamilya at may addict, the entire family becomes dysfunctional. The social cost. Magnakaw yan, mag-hold up, di mo. So kita mo ngayon, it has reduced crime by 50%. Sabi sa amin doon sa Davao 70. Kasi wala na sa labas eh. And there was a point, it was on my third election, sabi ko, I will not tolerate killing civilians, raping women and child. I will not accept that as a theory of government that I can go after you and just send you to prison. Ang sinabi ko, at ito, inuulit ko yan eh, if you destroy the children of my country, if you destroy my country, I will kill you. That's what I said in Davao, hindi pa kasi yung first, second. But I mean about the time about si Ramos na. Sabi ko, hindi ko na ito. Kasi every time may nire-rape, ang problema yung nire-rape, buti sana ko yung babae. And there was this also gang, and they were raping a 25-year-old, 85-year-old woman. Every day doon na pinapigpipistahan nila. So, sabi ko sa police, ito, klaro. And this is really what I said. Go out and hunt for them. Arrest them if they're willing to surrender. But if they offer a violent resistance, and you think as a police arresting officer, your life may be in jeopardy, on danger, or you're being killed, you kill them. And that's the order for today. Hanapin ninyo ngayon, bakit noon? Bakit noon walang patay? Ngayon lang panahon ni Duterte. Because halos lahat ng pulis noon, given na may mga police generals who were into it, at saka yung tinatawag nilang ninja, those yung mga bata-bata, all of them are missing as a matter of fact. Matter of fact, I placed 2 million. Hindi ito pera ng gobyerno, pera ito sa mga taong galit sa droga. I have about 3 multi-billionaires and a lot of mayors. Yung anak nila na lulong sa droga. Ito ang sabi, sige mayor, you offer bounties para matapos ito sila lahat. Ito galit to, tinamaan sila. There was the one guy said, I am supporting you because my son died because of drugs and I am about to lose another. Kung gusto ninyo, ipakilala ko sa inyo yan. Baka sabihin nyo, iniimbento ko lang. I will introduce you. I'll give you the name after this if you want. And you can ask them. So ngayon, bakit sa Davao maraming patay? Kasi sa Davao, sinabi ko sa pulis, if you follow strictly to a T, my order, you will have my full protection. Nung na presidente na ako, ganun ang sinabi ko sa kanila. Na why? Kasi matapang na ang pulis ngayon. Bakit noon? Kasi ang pulis noon takot talaga ng kaso. Yan ang problema dyan. All policemen, pati kayong mga mayor, takot ang pulis ninyo magkaroon ng kaso. Yes, sir. Because the FAD, is that pag mag-demanda ka ng police for whatever crime, the usual, alam mo na, abogado rin ako, is also to file a counter charges. Ang problema, lumalakad yung pera, nauuna pa ang hearing sa police. And invariably, because of money, nauna pa pag-convict ang police. Kaya sabi ko sa kanila dito ngayon, wag kayong, maraming, alam mo kasi, the entry pay of the police is 14,000 only. Can just imagine pag police dito tapos may 3-4 na anak. How can he survive and even the food on the table? Kaya takot talaga yan. Walang ginawa kung hindi maghingi-hingi because rather than really be an example of a police model, wala, kanya-kanya sila. And so, with the advent of drugs, pumasok ang mga congressman, may mayor, marami, at ang mga barangay captain. Now remember, I'm warning you. You might not like my character, but I'm warning you. The portals of narco-politics has been opened already, starting with Dilima. Pumasok na kasi lahat ng barangay captain, halos, it's not thick, pero pinabalidate ko. Kasi ako, tinignan ko yung sa police, pati sa military, pati sabi ko yung nika. So there are some people na hindi ko makonect dito sa police. I want it verified, validated sa military. Pagdating naman doon sa nika, sa intelligence, MIG, ISAP, hindi sabi ko, wag na muna yan. But this would be the final report. Is it there? Porot ito, mayor pati. This would be the final. And the list there are police, barangay captains, a few mayors. This is not limited to Tondo. These names are spread throughout the Philippines. Ito ang pulis, ha? Pagka ninja group, pulis yan. Ninja group, ninja group, ninja group, ninja group, ninja group, ninja group. Lumalaban to. Ayaw na magsurrender. May 2 million na nga akong patong. Hindi pa nagsusurrender. So what am I supposed to do? Sabihin ko, hulihin ninyo. Lalaban talaga yan. At mamamatay yan. Now, itong sabi mo na, where's the big fish? My God, the big fish is not here. It's in China. They are operating the Shabu operation in the Philippines using the digital map naman. Wala nila doon. Sige, deliver mo dyan sa yung tindahan na sa Pandakan banda. Kunin mo yung pera doon, may nakaparking. Dyan. Real time. So, kaya binuka ko yung ambasador eh. Kaya lang it disappeared from the headlines. Sabi niya pag-usapan. So they offered to build so many of the rehab centers. Sabi ko, do you have anything to do with this? Are you really trying to create something in my country? Destabilization. Who's your next leader if you do not want me? Why are you? Sabi na no talaga. Kaya they're inviting me for a formal. So doon yan sila. So who are left here? The lieutenants. Who are the two lieutenants? The police, pati yung mga mayor, pati yung barangay captain. Now, what about, sabi nga, where's the big fish? Alam mo, Amerikano na mismo nagbigay ng data na yan. Now, when you are in Shabu, 6 months to 1 year, your brain will shrink. Kaya lumalaban talaga, may baril yung mga yan. Believe me, I've been mayor for several years. Hindi naman that. Of course, may salvaging. Totoo yan. Pero yung salvaging na binabalot ng plaster hanggang ulo, we are not into that kind of business. What for? This government is not in the manufacture of mummies. Bakit ba? Those are really yung pang-ano yan, yung torture. That's the stages na dandahanin ka. Yeah, you must remember that the first organized crimes here, hindi ang gobyerno, yung mga sa military, pati sa police, they were the ones. What do you think you will do if you are a general once it is already too constricted to move around? Yan kasi ang mahirap dito, pag may namatay, it's about 1,000, sabihin kagad gobyerno. Why would I order? Di hulihin mo na lang. Look at the report. I'll show you every day. May briefer ako. Drugs, all over the Philippines until now. May briefer ba ko yan? Ipakita. You release it to the public. Today. Magsabi ka lang 1,000 arrest. Meron. Where will this thing go? So, sabi ko, state of lawlessness because there's only a little leeway to kagaya sa Arayat, I will be flying there. Laboratory talaga na may mga attack na. How can this country survive kung sabi ko, patayin ko kayo. Talagang papatayin. Sabi ko, huwag na tayo magbulahan ha. I'm not the kind na medyo yung hambog. But I'm staking my presidency, my life and honor. I really do not care mapalis ako. Go ahead. As long as I have my honor intact. Do not do it in my time. Wag mo ako ngayon. Papatayin talaga kita. Papatayin kita. Because I have to protect. If I do not interdict now, I would have compromised the next generation. Anak ninyo, pati apo. And it's going to be in narco-politics, just like the failed countries in South America. Bakit? Ako? Kung magpresidente ako, pera, hayaan ko na lang lahat. Sige, leader kita na. Wala akong pinatawad, pati yung mga barangay captain ko. Wala akong illusions about honor. Honor na being here for. As a matter of fact, if they can pass ito, if you can pass the federal system by next year or 2 years from now, I will resign as president. I will give way. Inyo na. Wala akong I'm 71 years old. So what I'm supposed to do here? At saka wala kang makuha dito. Totoo lang, magprangkahan tayo. Except for that. Nakukurnihan kayo? Kayo. Pero ako yung napapayag. We speak the same dialects dito, Tagalog. Sometimes you talk of your own dialect. Tomorrow, di Ilocano, Ipugaw, di Igorot, Bisaya. So what binds us together? This flag. If nobody would honor it, but I will. Ngayon sabi ko sa military, if you do not take it, do not like me. Do not say, Kodita, call me. And I will be the one to swear you there. Ito, bagong hunta. Kanila na ang gobyerno. Do it if you like. Well, pero not until nakaupo ako dito. I will not allow it. So sabi ko sa mga polis, do it and do not be afraid. I will take full responsibility, legal or otherwise. Ako ang magpakulong, trabaho kayo. Pero pag nagkamali kayo, do it, mag-kidnap ka on the pretext of drug, putang ina mo, papatayin kita. Talagang hiritan kita. Do not do it, sabi ko. Ganon sa Davao. Davao, police na kidnap. Pag-grade, hindi ko nahihintay. Pati yung study, sabi ko, patayin ninyo. O yun siya. Wala akong, drugs. Police, patay. Sigurado yan. Yan ang usapan talagang lumalaban naman yan. Hindi talaga ako. Wala akong, I think I became a president by a freak situation. I said nobody was supporting. I didn't have one barangay captain dyan sa Luzon, Visayas, or Bicol, or Mindanao, except Davao City. And yet I won. So what does that tell me? It was the messaging. What was the messaging? That there will be no corruption. And I will see to it that there will be none. And kung meron man, malaman ko rin. And yun siya. Ayaw ko ng drugs. Ayaw ko ng criminality. I will give the Filipino people a respect. Lalo na yung corruption na yan. Sabi ko, warning talaga ako, pati yung cabinet member. Huwag tayong magkamali dito, magkaibigan tayo. You're all my friends. As a matter of fact, sabi nila, bakit si Duterte yung mga kainom? Hindi kami nagiinom, mga kaibigan, kabarkada. Barkada, maybe kaibigan. Why? Because sila ang kilala ko sa dormitoryo. My life was, probinsyano lang ako, galing Davao, nag-aral dito, tapos sa eskwelahan. So, sinong nakikita ko? E di yung mga classmate ko, yung barkada ko sa dormitoryo, pati taga Davao. Bakit limitado? Sino yung pinagtuturo niya? My God, I've assembled the best of them. You know, Yasay and me, isa pa rin niya. Parang, ang English niya, parang si Kerry. Cloud, the cloud on the ground, cloud, the ground, they call it, it's called it slang. It's not slang. Slang is some slur, epithet. Biko mas Amerikano po itong buang kaysa. Was my roommate. Ka-roommate ko, harap ko si Dulay pati si Bebot. Isabela yan, Dulay is from Baguio. But Dulay is a very honest man. Noon pa, sa dormitoryo, kung magnakaw kami doon sa PX hindi talaga sumasama yan. Nahuli kami kay sigarilyo namin, mga imported. Tapos sigarilyo, pagkatapos itapon mo mas bintana, di nagkalat yung filter doon na imported. Yung mga pulis, nagtingin lang sa mga bintana, saan yung mga natapon ng mga... Yun, Dulay was really very... At that time, he was clean. He's clean, I assure you. Si Art, was my classmate. Valedictorian namin yan. So, ganun. So, I've assembled yung tinignan ko lang na kaya ko. Yan ang problema natin. Ang ayaw ko dyan is ganito. I have invited everybody. Obama, the Commission on Human Rights sa UN, yung EU, come. But we will do it, the process in my jurisdiction. Kasi ang style, I was already, kaya ako napipika itong pamulitika. Kasi naimbestiga na po ako si Alston, Philip Alston. He came here, the rapporteur of the United Nations Commission on Human Rights. So I asked him, yan ang sinabi ko. True, I gave the orders. But you know yung police, lalo na yung 4 na taon, PNPA, lahat ng lectures binigay na yan. It cannot be that every time mag-order ako, mag-offer kayo kasi, ito ha, huwag kayo magbunot ng baril. Ha. Tapos na yan. So when I say go out and operate, alam na nila because yan ang pinag-aralan nila sa eskwelahan. I do not have to remind them again na do not do it. If there's no danger, they know it already. So bakit pa man ako magdaldal? Ang ayaw ko dyan, tinatakot ako. Yung una, I just kept my silence. Ito mga NGO, daldal. Hayaan ko lang. Tapos itong rapporteur, I think he was an idiot there. So one time nagsasalita. No, when I was mayor, okay lang yan. Kasi ako presidente na ngayon mapapahiya yung mga tayo. Wag na ako, sanay ako niyan. Talagang walang hiya ako. Putang ina nila. Pero yung Pilipino, it's degrading for the rest of the guys of the Republic. Ito naman ang Pilipinas, so binababoy naman tayo. So, medyo galit na ako doon. Nagsalita si Obama after Ban Ki-moon. Basura lahat siya ginawa. Ako, come here and we will have a confrontation. You ask me questions, all of you. Then, in obedience to the great principle of the right to be heard, I will now ask you questions. Ako na, ikaw. I will start with dilemma. I'll start with you. Here is a footage, X-rated. I have a vague memory of your face. Are you the one here portrayed? I mean, I know that this one is your driver, but I have forgotten your face. Are you the one here? Ganunin ko talaga siya. Siya ang unang witness ko. Where did you get those? Di ba kay Nograles? And who was, it was to your office almost every week. Kasi yung lahat na sa Davao na mamatay, pati yung nasagasaan ng bisikleta, meron siya tapos pinail nila. Ako, I do not deny that maraming namatay. Pero it was really to serve my city. And because I am president, I will never allow the youth of this land to be destroyed. Amerika, pagkahiprotiko. Britain and America announced to the world that they were going to invade Iraq because there are stored there weapons of mass destruction. Putang ina kan isang kwitis wala. And look at Iraq. It's a failed state. Then they began to nibble at Gaddafi. Eventually, tignan mo. Look what is now happening. It used to be a land of opportunity, not only for them, but for us. Lahat at 2 billion of our countrymen are there working. Ngayon, pati yung mga Pilipino doon, hindi nila malaman kung anong gawin. So that's the problem. It's not only lahat tayo tinamaan. Yan ang hypocrisy nila. Sabi na, ako, how many okay, assuming it to be true, 1,000? Ilan ang pinatay nila dito sa Pilipinas? I showed them because they were talking about human rights. Di sinabi ko, ito. I'd like to talk about this first. Sa Budaho, they murdered 7,000 more people there. Men, women, and children. Sabi kaagad itong isang, they were interviewed, Tatad, Lozano, and wala na, past na yan. May mga Moro, ayan. My brother, Moros, tell them straight, what is in your heart? Sabi na, this is not past. This is not 1 century ago. This is now. The Americans are still here lording it over, telling me, using your armed forces to fight us. Kasi kinausap ko una komunista. Kasi matapak sila Tiamson and spouses, lahat ng mga bigwigs ng komunista, invited them for dinner after this. Then I went to the MI because they said that they will go to war kung walang BBL. Hilot-hilot, pakiusap. Then Nor, but Nor, I said, I cannot bind the Abu Sayyaf. He wants now the Abu Sayyaf to be a part of the group that would be amnestied. So we go, no. I will talk to you, but I will never talk to the Abu Sayyaf for what they did. Kung binabati ko sa kunang Pilipino, wala ako sa, ako isang bala lang sa ulo, okay na yan. Saka I've always warned the soldiers na do not mutilate, ignominy sa patayang katawan. Isang bala lang, tapos na yan. Bakit ka pa So, yun ang istorya ko. Now, since we are talking about the children, at sa bahay ng Home for the Aged, you should go. Just in front of the Davao International Airport, a few meters inside. Wala ang problema doon. Lahat binigyan ko. Yung mga special kind because they live parang in shame. So dahil sa tatay, separate yung kanila. And I do not allow even the press to Pero ako ho sa Davao, you can check, marami nandito man mga taga Davao. Every Christmas, for the people, mga aged, they have a one-day party with me. Then the commercial sex workers, may party yan sa akin. Then the military and the police. Then the barangay captains. Lahat sila, mga differently abled. Lahat yan sila may party. And Davao is the only place in the Philippines na walang vice squad. Davao is the only city in the Philippines the policemen are not allowed to apprehend prostitutes or commercial sex workers. Bawal sa Davao. They cannot go around asking mga clearances. I have dissolved Davao Vice. Ang kawain ng mga yan, mga gago na putang, maghuli ng babae, dalhin sa opisina, gamitin, kunin pa yung pera. Kaya ngayon, marami talagang sa Davao yun ang, so what can I do? I cannot offer them anything. I cannot take them all in the government service. Cannot do that. So hinayaan ko lang. My only condition is that they report to the city health officer every week. At doon binibigyan ng condom. They must use it. Yan lang hiningi ko. And I allow them. Walang magawa eh. Walang huli-huli ang polis doon. Sagrado ang babae doon sa Davao. Hindi lang alam nitong nagbiti ko sa akin noon. I was the first lahat. And my mother, she died 2 years ago. She was 96 years old. Nanay ko. Magna-97 siya. Sayang hindi umabot ng 100. Totoo. Ako, well, if we go by genetics, walang problema. But ang problema natin is maraming bisyo. Ako that I have, I'll tell you, I'll be frank with you. May Barrett ako. Alam na mga doktor yan. At kinuna nila ako ng sabi ng doktor, malignant. Hindi ko matinago yung eleksyon. Sabi nga ni Rojas, maghubad na lang tayo. Gusto mo yan. Smoking, Berger's disease. That's why walang smoking. Balang araw, hanggang buong Pilipinas na to. I will not allow smoking because you pass cancer to the people who do not want it. Drinking. Sa Davao, stop it at 1 o'clock. We cannot be drinking forever. Panahon ko lang yun. Kami hanggang umaga eh. But you know, I can see people, young people there sa drinking until wee hours in the morning. Kagaya ng ginawa, exactly the same sa atin dito. Pagaling sa eskwela, kasi hangol, greedy ng sine. Wala masyado sine sa probinsya. Galing sa eskwelahan, kain, sine. Magpunta sa Brown Derby, mag-inom muna. Bago mag-aral, mabutit na lang, umasa. But that's how it is. I said, you may not like my style. Pero yan ang ko. Na itong, bakit ako nagsabi paalisin yung Amerikano? Yung angling ng reporting. Sabihin ko sa paano ko. Sabi ko, I have talked to, so merong talagang resistant. Alam mo saan nag-resist yung mag-usap ng negotiator, sa mga scholars at ang mga bata. Yan. That massacres there happened today. It cannot be a past tense for them. Diyan ako nahirapan ngayon kung paano ko i-diskarte. Just like Samar sa Balinggiga, they went inside Samar and the Americans killed 10 above. They massacred them and they got that belfry. Ngayon nila sa nasuli hanggang ngayon. And the goal that they can talk to me about human rights. Sabi ko, araw-araw na sa TV, the black people already hands up, Nandiyan na tumba, pinagbabaril ninyo, then you come here of what human right. Kung hindi lang bawal magpatay ng Amerikano, patayin kita dito. Ganun ang hypocrisy ng ano. So everybody is committing it. Ang Amerikano kasi gumaganon. Tinuturo niya ako, at the same time, tinuturo niya sarili niya. Kaya I want them there. I want them there. Then they can ask questions. I would give the same answer that I'm giving you. That's the truth. But I want them placed under oath. Nothing wrong. Just like parang a deposition setting, you get my deposition, fine. Place me under oath. But ikaw, when the time comes, pwede na sila lang magtanong, anong tingin na sa akin, gago? Tapos yung anong sagot ng atin, sagutin ba, dalhin na doon, they make a report, and they condemn me. Kaya sabi ko, gusto ko, dalawa man ito. Kalukuhan ng Amerikano, so, ininsulto mo. So, a lot of Filipinos, especially yung medyo AV, ganun, they're more worried about how Obama was insulted, and they do not really bother to what's the sentiment of the Filipino people. I have a problem. Not in the scale of what they have, but I have to solve this. If I go down in history as a killer or the one disgraced because I was impeached, fine with me. Okay lang sa akin, walang problema. Okay, honestly, okay lang sa akin. Assassination, fine. I do not lose honor in both. I keep my honor intact. At least, I did what I should do at this time for my country. Wala ako. Now, if my judgment is wrong, well, I'm sorry. If you do not agree with me, fine. But there's a problem. Ako yung, gusto mo, palit tayo. Kayo. Sabi ko kay Dilima, I'll ask you, I'll give you a chair here. Plan out how to solve this. Sabi ni General Santiago noon, 3 million. 92% of all barangays and 3 million. When I became president, ang nag-surrender, it's nearing another 3 million. When I talked with Widodo sa summit doon sa ASEAN, he said, I have a 4 million addicts. Sabi ko, my God, I'm nearing that number. So anybody who has a bright idea of solving this, remember that I went into the presidency on a budget that is not mine. The budget I am operating on now is a budget that was prepared the other year by Pinoy. Under this election, I entered midstream. So wala akong budget. The loudmouth, why don't you just build a rehab there and rehab there? Saan maghanap ng pera? Where in the budget? I cannot steal money. I cannot print money. Pero kung gusto ko, paya ko, hold upin ko na lahat ng bangko dito sa Pilipinas. Because then, I ordered the military to open their camps para doon ilagay. China has promised us. They're only waiting for me because we will sign something. Now, sabi nila, Standard and Poor's, ang rating nila at natin mababa because these Americans, these foreigners, pro-Americans. Fine, go out. I can always establish another alliance. I will establish alliance with China. I talk to Medvedev, kami sekreto. Ngayon lang ninyo alam. Talk to China, Xi Jinping, and to. Naggawa talaga ako ng paraan. Russia. They said, go. Bring your businessmen. You may have something there that we need. I will open trade alliances with Russia and China. So yung kayong mga investor na go, walang problema. Do not scare me. I can tell the people, kaya appeal to you that there are things which I cannot as a matter of principle. Hindi ako magpakaya ng Amerikano. Bakit sa sino? Who are you? Kung sabi na, and besides, the penchant of the press. Kaya I never mentioned his name. If Ed Lingao said that he apologized Pero right at that, sa reporting, sama sa Duterte hurting words. What is the history? Give me another 2 minutes. Anong history nito? Di ba may election tayo? And there was this incident na talagang nagmura ako because galit ako. Kasi yung hostage taking, pumasok yung isang Australiana. Totoo na, magkumpisa ako. Ngayon, sa galit ko, because they attempted in the morning, nag-negotiate sila to get out. Si Duresa naman pumayag na bigyan ng truck. Ako sabi ko, ayaw ko. Sabi ko, just mag-away tayo niyan. I will not. Sabi ko sa chief of police, dyan lang. But they still tried to went out. So nagkabarilan. Namatay yung missionary, pati isang bata. Dala. It was a visit sa... So kanan-kanan ko yung bata, umiiyak. Ako sabi ko, putang ina itong mga animal na to. Ito ang words ko ha. The raw. Putang ina itong mga animal. No? Putang ina, sabi ko, nakalibre pa ng hindot ng magandang babae. Naunahan pa ang mayor. Because sa galit ko. It was a derogation of their manhood. Itong mga putang ina to, ang papangit na hindot niyan, unahan pa ang mayor. So when somebody was looking for the tape, because there was from RPN, nag-piggyback sa akin, he had the exact words recorded. Hinahanap nila, Rojas was buying it for 1 million. Inunahan ko na. But I was not joking when I told that it was a narration of an event. Tinanong itong ambassador, he said something that inisulto niya ako. Then yung Australiana na ambassador. You know, if you're assigned in a country, even if there's free speech, at least in the meantime na may election, you should have said, ask me another time, not now. Kasi it could be a positive or a negative thing. So sa tinamaan, huwag kang sumali. Sabi ko, putang ina, sabi itong bakla na ito. Eh bakla man talagang ulol. Inulit ko yan. Kasi for the several times that he went there, he never apologized. Hintay lang ako. Sabi niya, sorry Mayor for this. Pati yung Australiana. So galit ako. Tapos yung sabi nga niya, hurting words. Yung incident ni Goldberg, ikonekta na nila doon sa human rights. Then they started to spin. Kaya, for their satisfaction, go to Congress, collect the signatures. If you are successful, impeach. I will go, no problem. Or the military, if you want guys, kung sino yung gusto, maglinya kayo dyan. You want the junta, then I will myself swear in the junta as the new leaders of this country. Wala akong problema. Wala talaga akong problema dyan. Basta ako may problema, binagay sa akin para ayusin, I will do it. Again, at the cost of my life, honor, I regard to how it would, presidency, no problem. I'm ready to go. Ako, basta yan. Ang problema, alam talaga ninyo mabigat. And it will remain. There it will be relentless and continuous until the last pusher is out of the state. Then that is the time that I will say to you, I have done my duty and I'm ready to go. Maraming salamat po.
Maraming salamat po sa inyong makabuluhang mensahe. Now, may we request the President to grant a photo opportunity.
Okay, maaari lamang pong sundin natin ang pagkakasunod-sunod. Batch 1, finalist. Susundan po ito ng batch 2, finalist. Maaari po lamang na kaya
Be
maghanda
ready po
na.
yung batch 2.
Batch 1, finalist. Batch 2 finalist po ay naghahanda na rin dito. Yung batch 3 po ay maghanda na rin po. Yung VIPs, National Award Committee and partners of CWC. Yes, so thank you very much and congratulations sa ating mga finalists. Thank you very much. Palakpakan po natin sila. And batch 2 finalist, please. Okay, thank you very much, batch 1 finalist, for the photo ops with the president. And then batch 2 finalists. Maghahanda na po sa kabila yung ating batch 3, the VIPs, the National Award Committee, and partners of CWC. Okay. Maaari pong tumayo na rin para maghanda yung CWC family, batch 4. Susundan po ito ng batch 5, 11 centenarians. Ngayon po ay yung batch 2 finalists. Sige po. Okay. Okay, thank you very much, batch 2 finalists, and congratulations. Palakpakan po natin ang finalist, batch 2. And batch 3, ito po yung mga VIPs, National Award Committee, and partners of CWC. Thank you. Okay, batch 3. The VIPs,
Batch 3, the VIPs, National Award Committee, and partners of CWC.
ha? Okay. So,
Yung 6 po tatayo na.
okay. This is batch 3 po ito pero finalist pa rin. Okay, thank you very much. Okay, batch 2. So batch 3, the VIPs, National Award Committee, and partners of CWC. Kindly please proceed. Maghanda na po yung CWC family for the batch 4. Okay. Okay, batch 3 na po ito. The VIPs, National Award Committee, and partners of CWC. Ang susunod po ay CWC family. Okay. Sa dako pong ito, maghanda na po yung 11 centenarians. After po ng batch 4, kayo po ang susunod. Hindi pa. Thank you very much and congratulations. Thank you. Thank you. And then batch 4, the CWC family. Okay. Okay, thank you very much, CWC family. And the 11 centenarians. Pakihanda na rin po yung DSWD Execom, Mancom, and staff. Yun.
Be ready
Sorry.
po yung legislators of RA 10868.
68. Okay. Okay. Aayusin po lamang natin yung mga centenarians, yung 11 for the photo ops. Okay. So bigyan po natin ng pagkakataong mag-photo ops yung 11 centenarians to the President. Okay, thank you very much. Maraming salamat. Oh, not yet. Okay. Okay, thank you very much sa ating 11 centenarians. Palakpakan po natin sila. And
Ngayon naman po para sa batch 6, the legislators of RA 10868.
ang atin pong
Seven
7 authors. Authors of the law. Okay, thank you. Nagpo-photos na ngayon. Sige. So, thank you very much to our centenarians. Our senators and the legislators, please stay for the photo ops to the President. We will request the legislators to stay for the photo ops to the President. Thank you to our 11 centenarians. And now for So at this point, may we request the legislators, the 7 authors, to please have the photo ops to the President. May we request the companions of the centenarians. Pwede na po silang dalhin sa kanilang... Okay. And may we request the DSWD, Execom, Mancom, and staff to please be ready. Line na po tayo dito for the last batch of the photo ops. DSWD family, the Execom, Mancom, and staff, pwede po tayong tumayo na at kayo na po yung sunod for the photo ops. Okay. Okay. So tapusin po muna natin yung mga legislators for the photo ops with the President. Right after that photo ops, the DSWD family will follow. Okay. So at this point, photo ops na po ito ng mga legislators with the President and the secretaries.